Hello guys, so let's talk about the Arsenal 101. So we have multiple tools that you guys wanna have in your environment. There are hundreds of tools out there. I'm gonna just mention the most common ones that every malware analyst must have, and I'm just gonna give you a quick introduction of all of them based on the slides, as you remember. And when we are going through all the different exercises through the certification, we're gonna go a little bit deep into some specific tools. Okay, so let's start with the PE editors. As you remember, LordPE, I already described it, so I'm not gonna talk about what is the PE editor in this specific tool. You know it. So, but I'm just gonna talk about another option that it has, which is able to dump process from memory. Why we need to dump processes from memory? So normally when the malware is on disk on your file system, it is protected. It doesn't show interesting information, but once it runs in memory, normally it will decrypt. It will show configuration files, encryption keys, passwords, or any other information that we really appreciate when we're trying to understand what the malware is doing. Even network traffic. I mean, many different things we can find in memory. So, but the only way for us to get that information is by dumping those specific processes from memory. So that's the one option that LordPE offers. So we can see that it's pretty simple. It will list here all the different processes, and we just choose the one that we want to dump. And let's say that we choose CMD. It has all the different, I mean, obviously the module and all the different DLLs loaded. And we can say right click on just this module, and we can say dump full. Okay, and then we just save it wherever you want to save it. Okay, and you will have the process dump into your file system. It's that easy, and it's a way for you to dump information. So that's one of the options that I wanted to show you related to LordPE, since the other ones you already know. Let's talk about another PE editor, which is CFF Explorer. This is pretty cool and it is powerful. It is similar to LordPE, but it has other options. So again, it also has the DOS header, as you remember, the 4D5A, which is MC in reverse order. The word size, as you remember, word is 2 bytes, and this is the whole DOS header structure. At the end we have the 80 offset, which, as you remember, is where the PE header starts. So we go to the empty headers. We have the 4550, which is the PE at offset 80, confirming what we just said. And then we have the other structures, similar to LordPE, all the structures properly parsed, so you can see it. You can always edit anything you want. Here we have the sections, as you can see, and it has, I mean, import directory, TLS directory, all different options. And I just want to show you probably something interesting. It has the editor. Here you can always change, you can see the values, and you can save it into your here into your file system if you want. Overwrite original, no. You can save it with another name if you want, but just let me put it back. Okay, so that's one option. Pretty cool. You have the identifier, which is gonna basically scan the binary, and it's gonna tell you which was the compiler used in this specific binary. It says scan completed matches 0. That means it didn't find the compiler used or the packer used by this specific binary. I mean, obviously sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. This assembler, pretty cool, because basically it's gonna say okay, get instructions from the entry point, which is basically here, and then disassemble it. You can see it starts from the entry point, and it will show you all the instructions based on the opcodes. We'll disassemble them, and you can see the assembly code so that you can have a better idea of what it is doing. And well, it has other options like the rebuild, which is basically fixing some properties of the PE, like the import table when you dump it from memory, for example, but that's out of scope of this quick overview. And we have the UPX utility. UPX is normally a packer, so that if you wanna compress the binary so that it can run better and properly, so you can pack it. It offers that option so that you can have better performance. And by the way, the packers are also used maliciously by attackers, because basically what they do is they use a packer which, since it is gonna compress the binary, it will remove the imports, or sometimes it can remove the section names and many other things. So it is more difficult for a malware analyst to understand a packed binary. So, but what you need to do is you need to unpack it manually or use some tools to do it for you. So that's basically CFF Explorer. And let's move on to the next one, which is Hiew. We have Hiew here. As I said, it's a commercial version. Sorry, there is a commercial version. We're using just the demo, and it's pretty powerful. It's also kind of, you know, some people likes it, some people doesn't like it. It depends. So here we have the first view. It is the raw view. You can see everything. If you wanna just go down, scroll down, you can kind of see how it is built, the import tables, you know. That's one view. If you click enter, you have the second view, which is the hexadecimal view. So basically here you can see everything in hexadecimal. Again, as we discussed before, we have the 4D5A here, and then here we have the E0. You see this E0, which is going to point to the P header. So if we go to the E0 here, we have the P header right there. Okay, and that's it. So one of the things you can do here is that if you see at the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are options which reflects F1, F2. So for example, 1, if you click on F1, it is the help, and that way you can also add enter the other ones. For example, you can edit this specific binary, so you can click on F3, which is edit, and that is in edit mode. So right now, if I do like something, it will change it, and I need to click on F9, which is the update, so in order to process the changes. So you can see that now the changes are done. So let me just revert it, put it back again, F3, 4D, and then F9 again, and we are editing whatever we want from the binary. So it has multiple things, like go to is like, let's say that you want to go to a specific offset in the binary. Let's say that just for simple purposes, we're gonna go to 400 100 address. So we click on F5, then we start with a dot 00 400 100 address. We click enter, and we are right there in that specific offset. You see? As I said, it has multiple options. I just want to show you a couple of them. F8, for example, if you click on F8, it's going to give you the PE header, where it shows you again all the structures of the PE header, the machine, the base code, the entry point, everything, right? And from there, if you notice in the bottom, we have another menu. Because we enter here, we have another menu. That menu, for example, is telling us, if you click on F5, it's gonna tell you to the end. It's gonna take you to the entry point, which is supposed to be at the entry point. It says here 1308, which is that plus the image base, which is 400,000, then it's gonna be 401308. So let's confirm that and click on F5, and you can see that, and let me click here to be more clear. You can see that we are at the entry point 401308. From here, if we click again on F8, we get again the PE header, and then we have other options like imports. We click F7, we can have all the imports from the binary. We click escape, we return back to the previous. If we click, for example, F10 is the export directory. We click escape, go back, or let's say F6, which are the sections. So for example, here, if you click on text section, by the way, it has also all the sizes. If we click enter, it will take us right into the text section. Okay, and that's pretty much it. It has other powerful options, but I don't wanna confuse you so far. It has another pretty cool option that you can, for example, cut and paste. For example, here we can click on Shift star signed, which is the sign or star at the number 8. Oh, sorry, no. So okay, so we click on Shift star, which is the number 8. Oh, this is not allowing me. Yeah, maybe it took too much time. Okay, it is there. Again, sorry, it is Shift and the star sign, which is the one which is in the number 8 in your keyboard, and then we start selecting with the left arrow, and then when we are done selecting, we click again on Shift start symbol, and then if we click on F2, it's gonna allow us to save in a specific file, let's say data, that specific chunk. Okay, it is saved. Let's exit and let's reopen it, but now the data, which is this one, if we see, we have here the information that we saved. It already had more information before, so that's why you see more information here, but the first byte that we just copied, which was 837C, and all of them were copied perfectly. So this is just other options. You can always truncate also files. If you click on F3 and then you click on, let's say, F10, which is truncate, you will truncate from that specific offset where the cursor is located. We say yes, and you can see that it was truncated. So that's pretty much, guys, with PE editors, and I think I'm gonna give you more details while analyzing malware.